From the Global Icon Award to a global fall from grace culminating to a prison sentence in 2025. In one sentence, this describes the trial and saga surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, a rapper, music producer, record label owner, an icon for many until his years-long criminal activity began unraveling in public and in court. Diddy is no stranger to controversy or court appearances, but an image crafted carefully over decades shattered after the music mogul was found guilty in July this year. Last week, that guilty verdict culminated in a jail sentence of more than 4 years. Let's break down the entire scandal and all the accusations, the charges that led to this very moment. The trial of Sean Diddy Combs started in May this year and lasted about 8 weeks. The musician was charged with 5 counts. 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and finally 2 counts of transportation for purposes of prostitution. Now, the trial hinged on 2 people critical to this case: Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and another woman who was anonymous and referred to as Jane to protect her identity. Both women victims of the American rapper. Also critical to the prosecution's case was a mountain of graphic video evidence of the celebrity's crimes. Case in point, a footage from 2016 that was made public by an American news channel. The visual from a hotel CCTV camera showed Diddy violently assaulting his then-girlfriend of years, Cassie Ventura. From there, the independent allegations against Diddy snowballed into a mountain of a case. Testimonies accused the rapper of blackmailing and coercing his victims into performing sexual acts. Diddy was also accused of filming without consent, using drugs to keep victims in control and obedient. The music mogul was also accused of repeatedly assaulting women, punching them and kicking them. On 2nd July, 12 jurors convicted Diddy on 2 counts of transportation for the purpose of prostitution. But the jury acquitted him of 3 more serious charges, including racketeering, the most damning charge which could have put Diddy in jail for life. When the jury verdict came in, those in court witnessed Diddy turn to his family and say, "I'm coming home." But it seems that Diddy spoke too soon. After the guilty verdict on 2 counts came the long wait for sentencing. Sean Diddy's legal team had asked the court for a 14-month sentence. Now, of this, the star had already served 13 months in prison, which would mean that he only had 1 month left if he was indeed granted a short sentence. On the other hand, prosecution wanted a sentence of 11 to 14 years. But on the day of sentencing, defense pulled all possible moves to soften the judge. In a last-ditch attempt, they showed a video showing Diddy with his family, an appeal by his children who said that they needed their father. Diddy himself spoke in court for the first time in the entire trial. In a 12-minute speech addressing the judge, the rapper took responsibility for his actions. He even apologized in several instances and begged for another chance. As defense portrayed him, Diddy is a family man who made mistakes. But a father, a family man, does not engage in domestic violence and coerce women into prostitution. While the judge took everything into account, he said that the crimes committed by Sean Diddy Combs warranted a sentence of 50 months in prison. The judge also noted how many of rapper's crimes were committed after a federal investigation on earlier accusations. So the pattern was a choice. And that's the thing about justice. While it takes into account all factors since the crime, the relationships and the damage to those connected with a criminal, the bottom line for justice is simple. It is about doing right by victims who were harmed and scarred for life by a man wielding fortune, fame, and power with no fear of repercussions. That's all we have for you on this episode of Prime Crime. We'll be back next week with more such stories and cases from around the globe. Thanks for watching.